published science author, an intuitive abstract artist, an angelic healer, and an energy worker. As I have been going live every day since the past few days, and I've decided to do the same this month. And today I thought let's talk about medicinal trees. And although it's a very vast topic, right, medicinal trees, but today we're just going to talk about why we should rely on plant healing and plant medicine for ourselves. And what is one plant medicine that I can speak about and recommend that could help sensitive, energetically sensitive people, actually anybody with chronic diseases, with physical health challenges, emotional health challenges, and soul health challenges as well. Before we begin, I just like to mention that this live stream is a dedication to two of my soul family members, and I hope that they are watching from spirit because both of them are quite uh, fond of trees and plants. Anyway, so let's begin. So, are you somebody who is interested in trees? Not even somebody who wants to go close to trees, but just interested in knowing about trees. Is there any part of you that looks at a tree and wonders, what does this tree think of me? Or looks at a tree and wonders, should I go speak to this tree? Or looks at the tree and wonders, what do trees think and feel? Right? Like, is it very different to what humans think and feel? And oftentimes, I feel as though humans do want to go and communicate with trees, um, and they feel as though they're neglected and that they need human beings to be close to them or just to absorb the energy of trees. I think humans do feel that. And I feel as though as things are changing in our world, uh, more and more of us are becoming aware of more than humans. We're looking at things from a different perspective, and that is making more and more humans aware of trees and plants, not just as trees and plants in nature, but as sources of energy that are here to support human beings, right? And trees and plants can be a source of energy, yes, but also a source of love, source of friendship, healing, guidance. So if you've ever walked past a tree or a plant and you felt like it's saying hi to you, well, you're not making that up, right? You're not sort of imagining it. It could so happen that a tree or a plant is saying hi to you. And what about how trees feel when humans say hi to them, right? Do they feel as though they're being heard? I think they do. But I think they also feel bad that humans don't fully make use of the healing effects of trees. Hello, Coxal F5. Thank you for being here. We're talking about medicinal trees and how they can help us. So do join us, join me in knowing more. If you're interested, stick around. And how can trees help us to heal? And why do we need their healing in the first place, right? You might wonder, but we have doctors, Pranita. Why do we need trees? We have allopathy, homeopathy, and Ayurveda. Again, Ayurveda uses a lot of trees and plant medicine. So, why tree healing specifically? Why? Right? But I think tree healing, or the healing that comes from trees and plants directly, is very different from the plant medicine that you might think I'm mentioning. So I'm not talking about Ayurveda, or I'm not talking about herbs that could also be used as plant medicine. I'm talking about energy that comes from trees and plants that could be healing. I'm talking about energy that comes from trees and plants that could not just heal our physical health challenges, but also our emotional health challenges and soul health challenges. An inner child, wouldn't we want that? Trees healing our inner child. Wow. Now, I've spent a fair bit of time in coaching, and I'm a coach myself, so I'm not trying to diss coaches, but I've spent a lot of years trying to heal my inner child. But when I began working with tree healing, I realized that the inner child healing, or physical health healing, or emotional health healing, or soul health healing, or inner child healing that we get from trees and plants is very different. Trees and plants have medicine that is not just energetic, but it is fully made out of deep friendship. And we never think about trees as allies, as human allies, allies for human beings in their difficult times. Not most of us, at least, right? We the first time you had a cut, you never thought that a tree would come and heal you, did you? I didn't. I'm not trying to say that you're wrong. I'm just saying that we don't do that. We don't think of trees and plants as our first go to helpers, but they can be our first go to helpers. Now, there's been so much research. Today, I was reading a research paper. It was talking about 5,000 species of plants being medicinal. Wow, it's a big number. How many of us use at least one of them as a medicine? Right? 5,000 species, and we don't use even a few of them. And I don't mean to criticize here, but it tells us that we're not really including plants and trees fully into our lives. We're not really telling them that, hey, I recognize you as a source of healing, medicine, come help me. And oftentimes, trees are looked down upon as just sources of energy, right? And when I say look down, I'm not even talking about berating them for just being trees and plants or cutting them down. When I share about tree healing with people, they're very fascinated by the topic. But what's unfortunate is that they don't take a step after that. They stay fascinated, but they don't invest in healing through trees and plants. And that's sort of, in a way, worse than cutting trees, I feel. Because you're sort of acknowledging that trees are great, they're fascinating sources of energy, but really not okay or happy to receive healing from them. That means we consider trees as decorative. Which is unfortunate. And I don't mean to again criticize. I was like the far many, never looked at trees as a significant source of energy, at least consciously. I thought as though other things were important in life. And then when people would talk about climate change, I would suddenly feel triggered. Oh, I have to do something, right? And many of us function that way. We are not fully committed to receiving healing from trees. So, how many of you would like to know how trees can help us heal? Would you like to know how trees can help you with your challenges? Now, as an Indian, I know that there are a lot of Indian households that use plants like neem, kadi patta. I'm having trouble remembering the English name for it. Pardon me. Uh, Turmeric, right? Lemon as antimicrobial, antibacterial agents. Whenever we have a stomach ache, we see our parents giving us turmeric in milk, right? A lot of households use turmeric in food. It cuts through bacteria, toxins. Neem has antibacterial effects, and if I'm not wrong, even antifungal. We have neem in toothpaste, ointments, right? So science has backed plants to be medicinal anyway. But we're not yet at a point where we can accept healing, energetic healing from trees and plants. So if I say today that, hey, you can use the energy in plants and trees and then get it to your body wherever there's a problem, your physical, emotional, psychic, soul, energy body, and heal it. I don't think people will believe that or trust it or back it as yet. But it's true. Nevertheless, it's true. And one such tree is Celtic Alder. If you ever heard of the tree, Celtic Alder Tree, it's supposed to be very commonly found in Ireland and some parts of the UK. History goes that soldiers used to use the bark and roots of Celtic Alder Tree and they would make shields out of them, protective gear out of them. Because the tree, when you cut it, it doesn't rot, right? And it oozes out a red color material that's protective. It's also very compatible to fire element. Doesn't burn quickly. Because of these properties, soldiers used it as a shield to protect themselves from armies, right? A few years ago, I found my Celtic Alder Tree guide. And you might wonder, what the hell is a Celtic Alder Tree guide? Wow, such a bizarre few words to hear. Trees can be guides as humans, right? Like we see human beings guiding, directing people who are lost on the road. Whenever you're lost, you're in a new city, new area, and you don't know which way to go, You ask people, right, and they guide you because they are familiar with that area. They know where to go, where you'll find the next cab, where you'll find the next auto, where you'll find a cafe. They just know where things exist, so they'll just be like, yeah, go here. You'll find your way. Similarly, trees can be guides for human beings. So if you have a specific problem, a tree can become your guide, and they might know what you're going through, and they might guide you through it. So I learned this Reiki called Celtic Alder Tree Reiki that helped me connect to the healing energy of Celtic Alder Tree and connect me to my guide Juniper, who is a Celtic Alder Tree guide. And many of y'all might wonder that this just sounds so mythical, but it's not really hard to believe, right? If humans can be guides, why can't trees and plants? Especially if you're energetically sensitive, psychic, and you are walking past your balcony that's filled with plants, you might hear a voice saying hi. You might feel like a plant is talking to you. Might be really worried that day. I don't know what's going on in my life. I have this problem. And you might be thinking about that problem all the time. And suddenly an idea pops into your mind while you're in that space. It could be that plant guiding you with a solution, right? So, how does Celtic alder help? So, Celtic alder tree is one of the medicinal plants, and it's not big on herbology like medicine, but it's rather very protective because of its properties of having barks and roots that can be shields for our body. And when you receive this energy, I used Reiki to receive this energy. And when you receive this energy, you realize that the plant world is so similar but yet different. Plants are way more protective than humans are towards human beings. So they naturally are more protective towards human bodies. So today, if you have a stomach ache, right, and you feel as though you need help, you can use the Celtic alder energy to heal your gut, and you'll not only feel a healing effect, but you'll also feel immense protection. In protection that is hard to describe. Because trees don't show their force to show protection. They're like, hey, we're here and we love you, but I don't think I need to showcase that. Not today, at least. Right? But they give us feelings. They give us strong feelings of being held, being protected, being loved. And Celtic alder, especially, I read in an article just recently that people who are born with a Celtic alder tree guide or have them as their guide are people who can be very fiery, very action oriented, right? They don't like to waste time. They don't like to be around fake. people, situations. And I think Celtic Alder Tree healing helps a lot of people who have gone through a lot of trauma because they were real in their lives, they were genuine, and that led to physical, emotional, material, psychic, soul, light, spirit, energy level trauma. And my guide Juniper tells me that I'm not the only one who feels this way. There are many people, and if you're watching this video, you could be one of them, who resonate with trees and Celtic alder trees as healing sources and guides. And I'm filled with a lot of um, trying to find the right adjective. I think it's concern and half empathy for people who have Celtic Alder Tree guides but don't recognize them, or have Celtic Alder Tree guides but refuse to receive healing from them. And I assure you, when Celtic Alder Tree guides like my guide Juniper comes in, he started healing me for wounds that were so resistant in my life. Traumas that were not being healed before. Whether it was from bullying experiences, sexual abuse, financial trauma, social trauma, mental health related trauma, was there for me. And he really was there for me in a way no human being was. And we often feel human presence is very important for healing. I felt that for the longest time. I felt as though I need a human being to heal me. Otherwise, it's not safe. It's not right. It's not conventional. Of course, it's not conventional. I agree to that. But it's not right as wrong. It's not safe as wrong as well. I disagree to that. Because my experience has been very dissimilar. On the contrary, I feel that when trees and plants heal us, our need for unnecessary human support decreases. Because we start realizing that trees and plants can have the same amount of same quality or better quality they can give us of healing that probably humans can't sometimes. Again, I'm not trying to diss human support here. We need both. But as somebody who has had resistant wounds, sometimes humans can't heal them. Because the love and compassion and care and true affection that we need can probably only be shown by plants and trees. Because they have that capacity to show us. They're not human, that they don't have that limitation of being I can't or I won't. But I don't want to today. I don't. My mood is really bad. I'm cranky. I don't want to heal. Right? So if you're somebody who's going through physical, emotional, psychic, soul level challenges, it might help for you to explore plant healing, tree healing. How does energy from plants, trees, leaves, roots, fruits stems, barks help human beings. And if you're suspicious, you can just go touch a tree and a plant and see how it makes you feel. Does it give you comfort? Does it give you assurance? Does it make you feel safer? Does it make your inner child feel held? Do you feel as though you found a friend? Do you feel energy leave your body when you hug a tree or go close to a plant and start talking to it? Do you feel a plant and tree talks back to you when you talk to it? Because I did feel all of this before when I started talking, or as Juniper would say, working with trees and plants. I have healed a lot of my soul health related wounds with Juniper as well, and also for somebody's mental health issues. And I can assure you that when we receive plant and tree healing, it changes our perspective. It makes us feel as though we are enough for ourselves. And many of us don't get that feeling that we're independent, can stand on our own 2 feet. We can sustain life alone. Right? We always feel the need for somebody. I need a partner, I need my mom, I need my child, I need my friend. But when you start working with trees, you realize that they make you more independent. They make you realize that what we think is love or need is actually fear. So, my friend, if you feel as though you have a different perspective about trees now, or plants, or tree medicine, I invite you to explore tree healing. Tree healing can solve a lot of problems, especially Celtic Alder Tree. It can solve issues like imbalance in your body, it can help you with protection and defense for your energy field because it has protective energy. It can help you with rejuvenation, changes, handling changes in your life. It can help you with transformation. It can help you heal from deep-seated or resistant inner child wounds, physical wounds, emotional wounds, cognitive wounds, mental health wounds, soul wounds, energetic wounds, and psychic wounds. And if you're somebody who feels as though this sounds interesting, but I really don't know how to channel trees and plants, but I'd like to give it a go, or I'm quite committed to taking healing sessions from trees and plants, you're free to book an appointment with me. The link for it is in the description. I use Reiki to channel Celtic Alder Tree energy, which is a distant form of healing. So, regardless of where you are in the world, you can receive that healing and benefit from it. And you can also receive that healing in a way it supports your day-to-day life. in a way you connect to your own tree guides and Celtic Alder Tree guides. The price for my Reiki session is $200 per session, regardless of where you are in the globe. And I recommend taking at least 3 to 6 sessions per challenge in your life so that you see benefits. Because Reiki is not like allopathy where you pop a pill and you see the benefits of it immediately. Because it's energy, it takes time to reflect in your energy body, then your physical, emotional body, or soul level body. Right? I hope that you were able to connect with trees and plants better than you were before after this live stream. And I hope that being here has helped you learn something more important than your problems. And I say that because that could be a solution to your problems, not to deny or not acknowledge the impact of your problems, but to help you recognize that there are solutions that can make your problems feel smaller. Wouldn't we want that? I am extremely grateful for you to watch this video, and I would appreciate it if you hit the like and share button and stick around and subscribe to my channel for more content about spirituality, art, sensitivity, high sensitivity, healing, Reiki, and angels. If you're new to my channel and this video, please feel free to check out my channel, check out the various content that my channel provides. And if you feel as though you need support, coaching support for your physical, emotional, psychic health, soul health, you're free to reach out to me and book an appointment through the link in my bio of this channel. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day, evening, morning, wherever you are in the globe. Bye.